Hey everyone, this is Tony Reeves. If you like my content or have any suggestions, please let me know, and by all means, make sure you share. The only way I can get my word out is you help me get the word out as well. Hey everyone, this is Tony Reeves, and this is Reeves Point of View. And today we're going to talk about why you should consider hiring a professional. During the course of my practice, when I used to practice law, I used to regularly get people who would ask me this question: do I need an attorney? And I've done this on other places and videos in the past, but I felt like it'd be a great time to recap when people find themselves in the position of asking, should they hire a professional for a particular service? And this is the answer I typically give. And this is going to sound blasphemous, so forgive me. And I used to always say, do you need to hire this person? No, you need Jesus. But you don't necessarily need to hire the person. And really my thing was not to take slight on religion for those of you who think losing your mind in terms of me saying that. My thing was ultimately at the end of the day, most things you can do by yourself. Meaning, unless there's a law that specifically says you will use a particular type of professional, most things you can do by yourself. The question isn't whether you can do it by yourself. The question is whether you feel comfortable in handling all the situations that may present themselves, educating yourself accordingly, and troubleshooting any problem areas that may pop up that you have to address, and knowing how to handle that. And let me give you a great example. I don't know anything about cars. I can change oil, that's about the best. I can check the air pressure, that's about the best. But if something's wrong with my car, can I fix the car myself? Sure. But it's going to take me a longer period of time to do so because I have to figure out what the problem is. I have to figure out how to correct the problem. I have to figure out the tools to correct the problem. I have to figure out the parts to correct the problem. And then I have to correct the problem. And I have to do all that in terms of educating myself and still do my normal day-to-day activities. Now, I'm going to be honest. All that extra work I just got through describing, to do just that is going to be a problem. So what would I do? I would rather just take it to a mechanic, let them work on it, and keep it moving. And the same thing I tell people when it comes to hiring a professional for anything. It doesn't matter whether it's a dentist, whether it's a doctor, whether it's a mechanic, whether it's an attorney, whether it's an architect. The key thing you need to ask yourself is, how comfortable do you feel proceeding on your own? Do you feel comfortable enough to be able to address all of the issues that need to be addressed? If there are nuances out there, like for instance, mechanics know that there is a certain way that you have to dispose of certain substances. Do you know what those ways are? A mechanic may know how to troubleshoot a problem if they see something that pops up, so this way it doesn't cause you to have to come back. Do you know how to do that? And more importantly, do you have the time to do that? In other words, if you have other things going on, do you have the time to take to educate yourself, especially if it's like using the car example. If you need your car within the next couple of days, guess what? If it's going to take you a couple of weeks to figure out how to fix that problem, do you have that time to do so? Or are you just going to pay for a rental car and just basically drive that while you're fixing your car? Now you're adding more money to it. This is a long-winded approach, but I just want you to think about it like this from this standpoint. The hardcore reality is that most things you don't necessarily need unless you are being told specifically by law. You have to have it. But you really need to ask yourself going forward in terms of handling a situation. Do you feel comfortable enough doing it on your own? Do you have enough knowledge to do it on your own? Do you have the time to commit to getting the knowledge on your own? And do you have the ability to do everything you need to make sure that if there's anything that pop up that you're not expecting, can you deal with that on your own? If the answer to any of those questions are no, you might want to think about looking at hiring a professional.